Welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's episode, we're going to be talking more in depth about leveling up and your new circle. So let's dive in. In this episode, we're going to talk about what really happens when you level up. So one thing to realize is that growth doesn't just change your goals. It truly changes your identity, your personality, your relationships often shift as well. This episode is going to talk about how identity shifts create relational shifts, how comfort circles can quietly cap your growth, and also why choosing alignment over familiarity is necessary for expansion. Okay, so let's start with identity shifts creating relational shifts. And this is something that happens naturally without us realizing sometimes. So new standards, new boundaries, new daily habits, new routines, new visions, that's naturally going to affect your relationships, certain relationships, if they're not evolving and growing with you. Let's look at that from a practical sense. So if I have decided that I'm going to utilize my weekends, my early Saturday mornings to hit the gym, hit a Pilates or yoga class, and let's say one of my good friends wants me to be out with them on a Friday night till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, naturally my relationship with that person is going to shift because I've decided that I want to be up in the morning sober and make it to class, right? Same with, let's say, someone who has decided that they just want to eat healthier. So if you're deciding that maybe you're going to meal prep more and you've got friends that want to just go out to eat all the time and eat at unhealthy places, naturally that relationship may shift because you're focused on a particular goal or outcome. Let's say you've decided that this year you want to kind of stay in a positive mindset, speaking things into existence, really stepping into like your true higher self, quote unquote. That is going to require you to be more mindful of your conversations. So you may not want to hang around with someone who are all about it, gossiping or talking negative about everything, not just like people, but in general, just negativity. Well, that relationship is going to shift because I have decided I'm trying to be in a positive mindset and you're not aligning right now with this space that I'm in. I think realizing that that is a natural change, that is a natural shift. That's like, key point number one is to embrace that and understand that growth doesn't mean that you think you're better than everyone or that judging them. It just generally means that you're becoming different. You're becoming the better version of yourself, not the better person out of the friend group or family group or whatever the case may be. When you evolve, your environment needs to evolve as well. That's just how it goes. So now let's talk about comfort circles. I look at this from two different lenses. I look at a comfort circle as someone that has maybe people that have been around for a really long time, so they're just kind of used to those friendships. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, maybe they're anywhere in between, but it's comfortable because you've known them forever and they've been around forever. One aspect, how like a circle can be potentially limiting you because it's a comfortability that feels safe. The other aspect for me here is maybe it's not so much that you've known them forever, but you're the most ambitious person in the circle. You are repeating the same conversations. You are feeling unchallenged. You're mistaking agreement for accountability. So you're comfortable there because maybe you're the leader of the group. You feel maybe you even feel almost a sense to like stay in the group or stay in that particular circle because you are the most ambitious and the one that's in that leadership role. Well, again, that is a comfort zone that can potentially limit or cap your growth. It's important to, in both of those scenarios, realize that those comforts can like I said, cap your growth or stunt your growth. You don't have to stay in a circle just because you're comfortable with the people there. If it's preventing you from excelling, not like just career wise, but excelling into the best version of yourself. And you don't have to stay in that circle if you feel the weight of being the leader and the most ambitious person out of the group. Familiarity is easy. Being alignment truly does require intention. So let's talk about choosing alignment over familiarity. So again, you can love certain people from a distance if you've decided that you do need to make some changes. You can set boundaries. You can limit interactions. So it doesn't mean that you need to cut these people off, but maybe you're just redirecting your focus, so to speak. And just understand that, like, if you feel the need to do that and it's coming from a genuine place and you've uncovered a reason why you need to do that, that's not betrayal. Growth is not betrayal. Expansion can feel lonely. I feel like it feels lonely before it feels aligned. So that is something to be aware of. But it is necessary. You don't need a big circle. You don't need a large circle. You truly just need an aligned one. Alignment will always cost you something, but being misaligned costs more. I want to give a little personal kind of, I think, experience here. So, and I'm sure a ton of people can relate to this, but throughout life, I have evolved. I have become so many different versions of myself. I've had different circles of friends that were there for a season. When I look back, I think, okay, do I truly align right now? This version that I am and this version and the new version that I'm trying to be, the better version that I'm trying to be, do I align with what these people do, how they speak, their hobbies, where they hang out, what they eat, what they drink? And in some cases, yes, and in some cases, not. So it doesn't mean that, again, I think I'm better than them. I judge them. It doesn't mean that no longer care for them or that I wish them harm. It just means that they're not meant to be so close in this season. And I can still love them from afar, wish them well, check up on them even, but I have to truly, truly protect what I'm trying to build. I have to protect my spirit, my peace, my mindset, and I cannot have anything that is not aligning with that. And hopefully I can inspire them to make some changes if they're sort of like stuck in a rut or stuck in the same routine that I was once in with them, that I know doesn't lead to anything good. Hopefully I can inspire them to make that change, but it's not my responsibility to force them or to feel a type of way if I've decided I'm no longer doing those things or acting that way. And sometimes it is things that are more drastic, in my opinion, like people that were partying or doing drugs or something, or even just like people that you live an unhealthy lifestyle. And once you were doing that and now you're like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. Sometimes it is something like that, which I feel like is a little more serious on the outside because it can affect, obviously, like your literal health, either like your physical health, or certain things can affect like drinking drugs. If you keep doing that over time and as we get older, obviously that's going to help. That can affect you physically as well. But there are other behaviors that may not feel so serious. Maybe because you cannot like physically see how it's affecting you, right? The drinking, drugs, the eating crappy, like I can physically see that. I can physically feel that. I feel like crap the next day. I feel like all I'm doing is gaining weight or whatever. But there are some behaviors and habits where you feel them in a different way. You feel them internally. You feel them in your spirit. You feel them in your energy. You feel them in your mindset. And I feel like some of those habits would include, maybe you're in a circle of friends where all you do is gossip. All you do is plot and scheme and make fun of people and speak negative and put negative energy out there on social media and in the air. And it's like, okay, that's not as obvious as the person that's straight doing drugs, but what are you doing to your spirit? Like at the end of the day, doesn't that drain you? Don't you feel, I don't know, I feel like I would feel low if that's all I did all day long. Like all day long, you're looking for a fight or looking for someone to make fun of as if you're this perfect person on your high horse. That's still going to affect you in a different way than, like I said, the person that's out there getting high and eating crappy and all that stuff. So truly, truly look at the habits of your circle. Look at how you're contributing to those habits. Are you the one leading the bad behavior? Because let's be real, there were times back when I was younger where I was definitely the leader of the debauchery. I was the one that's like, we're going out and everybody's getting extra turn. Like, yeah, me, I was that person. So that's why this never comes from a judgmental place by any means. And something too that one of the women I had on for my Galentine's series told me, she's like, how did she, her episode will post here, so you'll hear it, in her own words. I don't want to butcher it, but basically she said that like she realized that she was being that person that like comes down on people or like can come from a judgmental or envious place. And it was because of things that she was unhappy with within herself, and seeing another person shining in their space highlighted things that were missing or things that she wanted in her life. So her natural reaction was to talk down on them, judge them, whatever. Do that inner work to realize, why am I doing this toxic behavior, whatever that behavior may be, and truly, truly try to heal. Really do, really, truly try to heal, because it is going to affect your life in so many ways, not just business wise and relationally, but your quality of life, your spirit, your afterlife is going to affect you. So truly, truly put that work in. All right. I have a little homework assignment that I'm going to do with you guys, and it's an audit. Yes, here we are. We're conducting an audit. I want two types of audits. And again, I'm doing this with you. A circle audit. So your inner circle audit is going to consist of you writing down, 2, 3, 5 people. Everyone's circle is different, but write down, who do you interact with the most? Who do you hang out with the most? If you're an adult like me, where hanging out seems like that's now happening so few far in between, but who do I engage with the most? Even if it's just like sending memes on social media, whatever. Write down who those people are. Then you're going to write down, are those relationships stretching me? Are they shrinking me? Do our conversations reflect, again, the person that I'm trying to be or the person that I currently am now? Do I feel energized, inspired after speaking to them? Do I feel drained after speaking to them? Start to write down and be more conscious and aware of how you feel after engaging with these people. Next, I want to identify, after you've kind of written down how you feel, so identify maybe some relationships that you need to lean into more intentionally. So maybe you realize, yeah, I do feel great actually after speaking to this person. So let me lean more into that intentionally and make it a point to check up on them more, or take our conversations even deeper, not leave it so surface, that kind of thing. And then realize some relationships where maybe you need to create a healthier boundary. So maybe you've decided, I'm not feeling so great after hanging out with this person or talking to them, or I feel like just stagnant. Maybe you realize that, okay, I'm going to create a healthy boundary. I'm going to, like I mentioned earlier in our conversation, maybe I'm going to limit my interactions. Or if it's like you've identified something really bad, maybe you decide, I'm cutting this out completely. I don't know. It might get to that point for you. So that is the circle audit. And then I never want it to be where like we're just relying on our circle to fill us up. Like, you don't want to just get to the point where like you're using people, right? Like, what do you bring? I need you to be my encourager, and I need to get my inspiration from you, and my practical advice from you, and my business advice from you. And you're just there, a sponge, absorbing everything. No. What are you bringing to the table? How are you affecting that circle, that friendship, that relationship. So that second audit is going to be for yourself. So write down, okay, like I said earlier, are you the one bringing the negativity in the group? Are you the one that is constantly pessimistic in the group? Are you the gossiping queen? Are you the one that's always looking for a fight? The one that's always encouraging people to do certain things that you know damn well ain't good? Be real, be honest. Are you the one that low key is the envious one in the group? Be honest with yourself, man. If we don't identify that there is a problem, we're never going to change. We're never going to fix anything. You're always going to stay the same. You're going to feel incomplete. And life is too short. It really, really, truly is. And we're meant to be happy and flourish. So it starts with us doing that inner work. Those are the two assignments. One assignment, two parts, circle group and individual audit. I will do it with you. We'll come back and speak about it. Be real, be honest with yourself. Write it all down, whether it's in your phone or a notepad, but that's step number one. And then you can figure out later the internal work of, okay, I don't even know why I'm doing this or how I even started doing this. I really truly don't know how to fix it, but I encourage you, extra credit, I guess, if you will, to then start to research. Now we have like so many resources and tips and things at our fingertips where it's like, if you don't have access to therapy or something like that, you can go on YouTube and you can type in whatever trait you found that you don't like about yourself, and you can figure out how to work on that. You can look up additional podcasts that go further into that. You can connect with therapists online. If your insurance covers it, you can even decide, hey, I'm going to actually book a therapy appointment because this is real ugly that I found in me and I don't like it and I want to change it. I encourage you to kind of take that step further once you have uncovered those issues and those concerns. That's what I have. Remember that growth is intentional, so your circle also does need to be intentional too. So I think this was a little bit of a shorter episode, but it's a very important one as we kind of like embark on this journey. We got to start from a good foundation. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.